Quarter past the hour now, and Congress are stepping up the pressure on the former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn after he refused to hand over documents as part of the investigation into his ties to Russia. The top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, today said the panel will be following up with subpoenas after General Flynn refused to hand over documents to that committee. This comes after leaders of the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee yesterday announced they will subpoena documents from 2 of Flynn's businesses. He's already taken the 5th in this case. But the Senate Intelligence Committee's leaders say companies don't really have the same rights as people, so they can't use the the 5th Amendment. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano was here. What about that?
Well, that's correct. I mean, as an individual...
Corporations are people, too.
Yeah, okay, we hear that argument all the time, but the case law is very clear. Corporations do not have a 5th Amendment right. Stated differently, if a document is subpoenaed from a corporation, whether it's a very large corporation or a very small one, whoever is the custodian of those documents has to turn them over. General Flynn's lawyers have argued that the first subpoena was so broad that it called for personal documents, and therefore he has the right not to turn them over. Why does he have the right not to turn them over? Because turning a document over is the function of a personal document is the functional equivalent of testifying. And he plans to take the 5th Amendment right not to testify. If he slips and gives some testimony, then he loses that right and he has to answer whatever questions they put to him. It's a strange area of the law for this reason. There are 6 investigations going on. 2 in the Senate, this is one of them, 3 in the House, and then the Justice Department, now headed by Bob Mueller. That is obviously the most important because that one can indict and prosecute. The other 5 can only investigate and make political hay.
As a jurist, what are you watching as this unfolds? There's so much chatter all the time, and it sounds like these ties were deep and convoluted and may involve a number of people.
Well, I'll tell you what the Justice Department is looking for. Was General Flynn a secret foreign agent?
Yeah.
Meaning, did he have loyalty to people who were paying him? Was he being paid by Turkey or Russia at the same time that he was the senior advisor to the President of the United States for national security?
Don't we know this? I mean, he was being paid at the same time. Whether witting or unwitting, is there a distinction in the law?
That's a great question. One can become an unwitting foreign agent by one's interaction with a foreign government. That's the same thing they're looking for in the Trump campaign. Did members of the Trump campaign become unwitting foreign agents by working with and cooperating with Russian intelligence? This is the allegation now, to get Mrs. Clinton's emails into the hands of Russian intelligence. One does not need to sign a document. I am a foreign agent. One could be deemed by the court a foreign agent because of one's behavior. So Congress wants to look for it. They can't indict. Special counsel wants to look for it. Obviously, he can, and if he finds evidence of a crime, ought to indict.
Help me think about this just for a moment, because the thing that's always sort of been living with us is if there's no there, if there's no substance to any of this, if there was nothing nefarious going on, if there were no improper or illegal ties, why not just let them look? I mean, at one point, that's what Reagan sort of did with Iran-Contra, if I remember.
Well, in fairness to General Flynn, he is not yet in legal jeopardy. He has not been charged with any violation. It would be foolhardy for his lawyers to say to the Justice Department, okay, rummage through his brain, he'll answer your questions, rummage through his checkbook, because if they want to find something, they will find it. So one ordinarily does not...
Well, unless it's not there. And then you don't find it. If it's not there, you don't find it.
Correct. But General Flynn and his lawyers don't know what the Justice Department does know. They may just be looking for some small piece that he might unwittingly provide them. We may never get an answer. Bob Mueller may someday just close up shop without any indictments, and this stuff will just become a footnote in history.
Because if you don't indict, you don't have to give up any information about your process.
Correct. The procedure that Jim Comey used, where he said, I'm not going to indict Mrs. Clinton. By the way, here's all the evidence against her. Unprecedented in American history. I can't imagine that would be repeated.
Well, he's fired now.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, you're welcome, Chef.